I'm going to start this video with a quote that I put on my Facebook feed just now. Quote, the same thing people point out in you that they don't like, fill in here, whatever that may be, is the very same thing they will like/admire in a celebrity or someone that they like. Have you stopped to notice that? This is why opinions about you are good for nothing except going in one ear and out the other. I'll repeat it again. The same thing people point out that they don't like in you, fill in the blank or whatever that is the very same thing that they will like/admire in a celebrity or someone that they like. I won't finish the rest of the quote, right? But this is so true. Have you stopped to think about that? This is reason number 1,553,433, by the way, of why you should take people's opinions and wipe between your butt cheeks with it. Why? It shows you how just ridiculous this is, because all this boils down to is if somebody likes you. I remember back in 2020 when the whole C word situation happened, right? And I remember I had two specific haters who would just on like Twitter and maybe I think YouTube, every video or post that I made, it was Twitter at the time, right? Now X, and YouTube, they would always show up and they would just talk trash or then compare me to some other influencer that they loved. And then they talked about that, the C word. I was like, you dummies. I was like, you guys are on the jock of XYZ influencer. He's against the narrative just like me. What are you doing? And they just continued as if I said, they didn't even register it. Why? Because when you don't like somebody or have a negative opinion or you just want to say something, you don't care. Because they've already reached a conclusion. And it's not a factual conclusion, it's emotional. They don't care. And they're just going to blab or say their opinion, especially if it's negative. But this could even reign true in a positive sense as well. So by having these realizations and understandings that I've picked up and gathered over the years, it's been one of many tools that I've used to just completely detach from what people think about me. I just don't care. I care about two types of people's opinions. One, my peers that are successful with me, or people that are part of my organization, right? And then the people that I have deemed as my coaches, my mentors, my trainers in those areas. That's it. If it's a random person online, if they give me praise, appreciate it. If they hate, appreciate it. Don't care. The level of care is here. And I don't want to say that to downplay any support, because I appreciate everybody who supported me. But I'm not going to fawn over it and talk about it all the time. Just like on the opposite side with the negative, cool. They can have their opinion, not a problem. Have your opinion. But it doesn't affect me to my core, the negative ones. This is tough for a lot of people. A lot of people claim that they've detached from it. But I know that internal block is there, because when it comes time to work, express to the world what their aspirations are, create content on social media, get in front of a crowd and speak, one of the many reasons that they don't do it, one of many, is this: criticism or judgment. So people right now do not realize how deeply this is entrenched in them. If you don't rid yourself of this, you'll never go after your goals. You'll never live your own life. You'll never speak up. You'll never be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You'll never really 100% entrench yourself in your beliefs and philosophies and like how you view life, which, by the way, can change. But even the ones that you do believe in, you'll never understand why, and you'll never fully stand in them 100%. You'll always walk on eggshells. You'll be afraid to offend people, and you'll get caught up in the mind virus that you see right now in the world, where you can't even say anything. We're at a point now where, let's say I'm dealing with somebody who's overweight, and I just say an objectively truthful thing, a fact. You're fat. I could be canceled online. It's considered hate speech. I'm being, I'm inciting violence, like all the stuff that people say. I'm fat shaming, right? Whatever that means. just for pointing out a fact. Now, fill in the blank, right? That's a common one. Fill in the blank. Are we that like crazy? Because the people close to me, if I told them they were overweight, they would appreciate the fact that I told them, because then now it really cements it in their mind and they're going to do something about it. So it's funny how the people close to you or the people that care about you would appreciate your honesty, but the world, because they're so afraid of being judged and criticized, because this really plays into a bigger agenda where they can literally get away with everything and they keep you quiet. All they're doing is inching back towards removing freedom of speech. That's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. And allowing debauchery and for people to get away with everything. Oh, fat is beautiful and this and that. People using different ways of using pronouns and all this stuff. Like, if you don't really see what's going on, you have to take a step back and analyze it. Because I'm not going to tell you what to believe. I'm telling you to take a step back and analyze this thing objectively without your emotions and without other people's influence. That's macro. Micro, it's about you. Can you detach from other people's opinions? How could you go after your goals, especially if they're lofty, and fulfill the vision that you have for your life if you're concerned about what mom or dad or someone else is going to think? You'll never go all out. You will always stop. And this is why this is one of many things that I really work on when I get a new student. When they start going through the lectures and going through the trainings, so much of these things are just fully entrenched into everything that I teach, because if internally the person isn't primed to do everything externally, the actions, the thoughts, the ideas, then we might as well just be watering cement. Nothing's going to grow. And a lot of people suffer emotionally and have many other issues rooted in this thing because they're afraid of what people will think. Think about how many people right now are afraid to proclaim to the people close to them, not even publicly, but just to the people close to them who they voted for. Because right now, in the public eye, if you voted Democrat, you could say that. You're not really vilified. But if you voted Republican, oh my God, right? So I don't care which one you voted for. You should be able to say which one you voted for, no problem. And then deal with whatever comes with it. There shouldn't even be a backlash period. But being the individual who voted, there should be no problem saying it. Or I'm this religion, I voted for this person. So think of those things that a lot of people, I would just go out, I could wear a Trump hat, I could go out and tell people, hey, I voted Republican, I'm this, I'm that. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with it. And if people looked at me funny, I wouldn't care. But wouldn't you like that type of freedom? And it's not that you have to do it. It's, are you capable? Do you have the capacity to do it? That's where the power is. Because I have the capacity to hurt a lot of people if I want to. I won't. Physically or verbally. But I won't. I have the capacity to F shit up if I want to. I'm not going to. The capacity is there, but I'm not going to do it because I live by a certain code. I go out and I choose to put a smile on my face and treat people fairly and honestly and ethically. And I'm kind to other people. Do I have to? No. I have the capacity to be a total asshole if I want to. And be rude. But again, I want to create more of what I put out to receive that in return. But that's how I live. I'm not afraid of criticism or judgment or any of that. So that's what you want to work for. It's not that you have to do it. Do you have the capacity though? Because people will say that. Oh, I could lose the weight if I wanted to. Oh, I could do that if I wanted to. Could you though? Because if you're lying, then you're just lying. You want to save face socially, but internally you know that you're lying to yourself, which in turn causes more suffering because you know you're putting on a facade. Now you're living two different lives, which is why a lot of people struggle online because very few people are like me, where we're just transparent. What we do right, what we do wrong, and everything in between. Now, I haven't shared every intimate detail about my life with the internet, but I've shared a lot, and my format is like this. I just turn the camera on and I talk. But very few people would do that because they want to put on a facade for the camera. But then when you meet them in real life, it's different. Versus many of you who have met me, you're like spitting image. It's the same. But I've freed myself of that chain of criticism and judgment. And I'm telling you, it's beautiful. And you can do the same. But you got to understand concepts like I covered today. The same people who would judge you for, let's say, voting for Trump, love somebody else who voted for Trump. And suddenly it's okay that they voted for Trump just because they like them. Meaning that opinion means nothing. It's not based in something factual and legitimate or a code. It's just, oh, I like them. So when I like them, I'll bypass a million things. How many people do you know that are in relationships or keep people in friendships around with people that they don't agree with a lot of things on, that they would have problems with strangers, but because they like that person or their family, they can get away with it? That's the point. Free yourself of criticism and judgment and the sting and pain of it, and you will alleviate a lot of issues that you're having in life. All right? Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the free resources in the description. We'll see you on the next one.